Hello, hello, hello. I want to talk about self sabotage through procrastination. Procrastination is that thing that we just don't do. We just feel like it's like, I don't want to do this. We just make up all kind of stuff. Why do we do this? Why do we do that? Why do we procrastinate? It is a form of self sabotage. So I want to share some things I have here that's going to maybe get you out of this slump, maybe, or maybe help you realize that you have been self-sabotaging by procrastinating. Maybe you know what your mountain is and maybe you don't. Your mountain is the block between you and the life that you want to live. If you're willing to do your work, you can find that it is the entryway to the breakthrough that you spent your entire life waiting for. Your old self can no longer sustain the life you're trying to lead. It's time for reinvention and rebirth. In the end, it's not the mountain that you must master, but yourself. You are the mountain. Nobody's standing in your way but you. Nobody's in your way, right? And I know that might be tough to hear. Nobody's in your way but you. Nobody holds us back like we hold ourselves back. Okay, so I want to go into self-sabotage. I'm going to go into procrastination. Okay, I'm going to give you two examples of kind of like why we may be doing this. The way you're self-sabotaging is by not doing the work you know that would help you move your career, your life, your relationship forward. What your subconscious mind might want you to know is that you might not be as clear as you think you are. And you may not be as clear as you think you are to be doing it. If it isn't flowing, there's a reason. Instead of trying to push through and continually hitting the same wall over and over again, take a step back, regroup, re-strategize, or seriously think about why you are trying to take the steps you're trying to take. Something needs to change and it's not your motivation. So a lot of times you could be procrastinating because that thing that you thought you wanted, you no longer want. So it's time to regroup, re-strategize, or seriously think about why you're trying to take the steps you're taking. Okay. What your subconscious mind might want you to know is that you may not be as clear as you think you are. And you are to be doing it. If it isn't flowing, there's a reason. Instead, trying to push through, continuously hitting the same wall over and over again. Take a step back and regroup, re-strategize, and seriously think about why you're trying to take the steps you're trying to take. So a lot of times, like I find myself here often. I'm doing things and it's like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't really want it like I thought I wanted it. I changed my mind, and that's okay. So if you find yourself procrastinating in certain areas, it could be one of the things it could be is that you no longer want that thing anymore, and that's okay. So you got to take a step back and re-strategize, regroup, and seriously think about why you're trying to take the steps that you're trying to take. Self-sabotage through procrastination can be explained as a behavior where individuals consciously and unconsciously delay tasks or actions that are important or necessary. Here's an explanation. Procrastination is a form of self-sabotage. It occurs when an individual delay or avoid tasks despite knowing the potential negative consequences. It often stems from a various well, y'all know what I'm talking about, underlying factors, such as fear of failure, perfectionism, or low self-esteem or lack of motivation. By delaying important actions, individuals might create temporary relief from anxiety or discomfort, but it often leads to increased stress and a cycle of unproductive behavior. Understanding the reasons behind the procrastination is crucial for addressing this self-sabotaging tendency. It's a behavior that can be managed through self-awareness, setting realistic goals, breaking tasks into smaller steps, and developing strategies to overcome the emotional barriers that contribute to procrastination. So it's really just taking a step back, looking at everything and being self-aware And know that procrastination is a form of self-sabotage. It occurs when an individual delays or avoids tasks despite knowing the potential negative consequences. And it's so many underlying factors, right? You have the conscious. You could be doing this consciously or unconsciously. That's why I was talking about the subconscious mind. And like the subconscious mind is trying to tell you something. We have to pay attention. We have to become aware so we can so we can know, like we can realize when we are doing this. A lot of times these self-sabotaging behaviors, we don't even know that they are self-sabotaging behaviors, and we've been doing them for so long till we think that they're normal. It's normal to feel this way. It's normal to feel stuck at this time of the year. It's normal to not do anything. It's normal to just be sad and depressed all the time, and it's not, right? So we have to be aware of what we're feeling and why we're feeling it, right? And don't let your feelings drive you. Like, they could be in the car, but don't let them drive you. You have to be in control, okay? You are not your feelings. You are not your feelings. You are not the things that you're telling yourself, right? A lot of times we get in our head and we start saying things to ourselves about ourselves, and then somebody else comes along and says something to confirm that, and then it's like, yep, that's what's wrong with me. That's what's wrong. It's where I'm at. I'm stuck. I can't do this. I can't do that. And we begin to meditate, because like my phrase of the day today, when you become what you meditate on, you will become what you continuously meditate on. So what are you meditating on? We have to be mindful of what we are meditating on. There's some thoughts that you're meditating on. There's some things that you're meditating on, and you are becoming that, okay? So in order to become, we have to unbecome, right? These things that you think are true about you, and they're not. Self-sabotage. That's one of the ones. Self-sabotage through procrastination. Procrastination is one of the huge ones that I just really have to pay attention to. I have to be self-aware of. And I'm able to, when I notice it in somebody else, I check within myself, because I know that in relationships, they're just mirroring things that I don't see about myself. So when I notice these things in other people, I check in with myself. Where am I procrastinating at? What area have I been procrastinating in? If I notice that about somebody else, I don't just call them out. I'm calling myself out. So this video is for me as well, and whoever else may need it. There have been times where I have been self-sabotaging through procrastination. I know what I'm supposed to do. I just don't do it. And then I'll start making excuses. Oh, I'll do it later. Oh, I'm going to push this to this day. I'm going to push it to that day. Knowing that I need to do it right then and there. Okay, I need to do it right. There's a reason. There is a reason I'm procrastinating. There's a reason I'm trying to put this off. So really just becoming self-aware about that and checking in with that. There have been times when I started this journey, I was trying to help everybody. I was sending everybody videos and clips and books and screenshots and things. It's like, what's going on? And then they'll be like, oh, I'll watch it later. Oh, I'll do it this day. I'll do it. I was like, they just procrastinating. No, it's not my job to help and rescue everybody. It's not your job to help and rescue everybody. There are people who you have to take apart. You have to be a part of your own rescuing. Okay. Cause think about trying to save somebody that's drowning and they fighting you. Both of y'all gonna drown. So just be mindful of that. That's what I have to tell myself. I have to be mindful of people. I want to help people, but I can't want to help them to the detriment of me. Right. I can help them when they're ready to be a part of their rescue. And until then, I just have to just sit back and watch. So that is all I have this morning. Wanted to talk about the self-sabotaging behavior of procrastination, because a lot of times it's us. The mountain is you. So let me close out just how I started. Maybe you know what your mountain is. Maybe you don't. The mountain is the block between you and the life you want to live. If you're willing to do your work, you will find that it is the entryway to the breakthrough that you spent your entire life waiting for. Your old self can no longer sustain the life you're trying to lead. It's time for reinvention and rebirth. In the end, it's not the mountain that you must master, but yourself. Happy Sunday, or whatever day you watch this. Have an amazing day on purpose. Hello.